welcome to episode 21 of Forever Everton, which could in fact be the final episode. Or it might be the last episode before we start season 4. It is literally down to one game. As I've said before, we're not continuing with a season 4 if we don't get European qualification. But as you can see, when you look at the league table, and let's look at it here, we're in 4th place. Which means not only are we in a shout of Euro Cup 2, but maybe even Champions League football. However, the problem we have is, obviously there's only one game to go. Ours is against Leicester, all the way down here, who they've had a recent upturn in form over the last 3 games. However, just on our tail, only 2 points behind is Arsenal, and only 3 points behind that, or behind us, or 1 point behind Arsenal as it is Chelsea, who currently sat in 6th. Now, because of our crappy goal difference, because we only picked up a decent striker halfway through the season, obviously if Arsenal win, they go above us. But if Chelsea win, they can go above us too, purely on goal difference. So I say it's our crappy goal scorer, and we actually have scored only 1 less than Chelsea. We just happen to have conceded 9 more. But anyway, the point being is our goal difference is just, it's not good enough. Now, obviously, if City lose for some reason and we win, that's great. We could even go above them, albeit, we won't, we're below them on goal difference, and their form's been a bit iffy. Ours has been good. I'm going to show you that first. Let's have a quick look at our form. So the last game you would have seen, of course, was the 2-0 against Bournemouth at home. Since then, we beat Cardiff 2-1, which is good, because, it got a little bit hairy there when you consider where Cardiff are. They are rooted well and truly to the bottom and are, in fact, relegated, having only managed 9 points so far this season. Obviously, they got a chance to, pick up 3 more, I guess, but they only managed wins against West Brom and Fulham, draws against Bournemouth, Leicester and Stoke, and losses against everyone else. So they're going down. But like I say, it was a wee bit hairy. I'll not lie to you. I did wonder, because we went 2-1 up, 2-0 up, and then they pulled 1 back, and we didn't score any after that. That's 4th and 11th minute. We hammered them in terms of possession and shots on target, but nevertheless, it was that kind of goal where you're like, it was, yeah. Anyway, nevertheless, we beat them. We then ran out 3-0 over Aston Villa, who, of course, are also relegated. That's goals from Richardson, Hlozek, and a Chambers' own goal, which was actually, I think, Hlozek hammering at a Chambers who was stood in front of the goal and just bounced off him. So that was a nice one. In fact, I think we can look at that. Let's have a look at that. If it's the one I think it is. Let's see that. And let's see the Hlozek goal. Oh, there we go. No, it just lets us see Callum Chambers. Anyway, yeah, it was one of those. But nevertheless, we won that one too. We then drew 2-2 with Liverpool away, which was actually a cracking result. Again, Hlozek grabbing 1 and Richardson grabbing 1. Could have been 2-1. Milik scored on the first minute, for crying out loud. And it was great when Hlozek brought it back. As you can see, we actually had the better on-target shots. 13 out of 15 shots is quite good. But as you can see, we're a wee bit foully, and we didn't have the possession. So, yeah, Allen's goal on 85 minutes was a little bit upsetting, but, you can't write off Liverpool. You just can't. They're too strong, too big. So, like I say, I was very happy with that result. Bearing in mind, poor old Dean got sent off in the 90th minute too. It was only about 4 minutes left after that, but it was still 4 minutes left. So, that was unfortunate. I think he's actually therefore banned for this game, but I will double check. Oh no, he wouldn't have appeared against Brighton. We beat Brighton 1-0. Not overly convincing, to be fair. It again looks like it on these numbers, but we just didn't look like we were going to score. Poor old Hlozek had an absolutely rubbish game, and Anthony came off and then came on again because he didn't have a good game either. So, one of those. And that takes us to the penultimate game, which of course was away against Chelsea, which we managed to win 2-1. We went 1-0 up. They came back at just after half-time, 60 minutes. Fekir managing to score 1 there. And then Anthony managed to score 1 in the 73rd minute. As you can see, they were hammering us. They were taking shots at us for fun. Only 7 of their 21 were on target, whereas we took 8 shots, 7 of which were on target. Possession, as you can see, was awful. We only managed 36% of possession, but we still managed to come out winners. I mean, I think I said before I was going to come back for this game, but because of what it meant and where we were, I couldn't help but play it, to be honest with you, because if we'd lost this, it would have been pretty much game over anyway. So I chose to play it. We'd had some, half decent form, figured to see how we go, and then just make the last episode a goodbye episode, and look at how we'd done over the last 3 seasons. But like I say, coming out 1-0 winners, 2-1 winners as it were, meant that it is literally down to that last game against Leicester. So, like I say, form has been pretty good. I mean, obviously, that disgusting Stoke result. Don't know what it is about Stoke. I always struggle against Stoke. But yeah, ever since then, we only dropped to points against Liverpool, and again, we were a bit unlucky there. So, basically what it means is, our game against Leicester at home, fortunately, is pretty much the crunch game. But even if we win, so look at the Premier League, even if we win, we are not guaranteed, because it means ideally Chelsea or Arsenal or both have to lose. So what I want to do, I just want to have a quick look at Arsenal's schedule for the senior squad and just see who their last game is. It's away at Fulham, and like I say, they drew at Wolves at home, and they drew at Man City away. So I don't know how they got on against Fulham prior to that. But they beat them in extra time in the FA Cup 5th round. So good for you guys. Very good. Where did they do, or how did they do in the league? I'm not seeing it because I'm probably blind. There we go. They won 3-1 comfortably at home. So, I mean, when we played Fulham, I remember it being a tough game. So there's a chance that they might get beaten. Anyway, if we look at Chelsea, however, and see what their schedule is, who their last game is, it's away at Stoke. Well, obviously they lost to us 2-1, and they lost to Liverpool 2-1, and drew with Bournemouth before that. So their last 3 games haven't been fantastic. This is an excellent opportunity for them to bounce back, of course, but hopefully they have as much trouble against Stoke as I seem to have. In terms of how they did previously against Stoke, well, there we go. They lost 2-0 at home. So stoked them like they do us. So Stoke might be our saviours. After hammering us 4-0, they might be our saviours. So let's see what happens. So this is it. It is crunch time. It is the final game of the season. It's a must-win game. I mean, I say that if both Arsenal and Chelsea lose, and we lose too, then we might be all right. But realistically speaking, we've got to get a result here if we have any chance of qualifying for Europe. And like I say, it pretty much means that if we win, both Arsenal and Chelsea need to, at the very least, draw. Preferably lose. So we'll see how it goes anyway. In goal, it is Unai Simon, a back 4 of Dean, Kimpembe, Adara Bayoyo, Holgate in defensive midfield, Berg, central midfield, Davis and Almendra, left wing Almada, right wing Richardson, and up front it's Slozek. Well, yeah. Secure qualification for the supporters. Let's do it for the fans. Passionately, I am expected to win here. Oh, no, there are lots of other options. Oh. Yeah, we didn't do well against Leicester last time, did we? Yeah, go on then. Let's give our fans something to cheer about. They do deserve it. I'm going to ask you to be solid, be in control, and grab some goals also. It is kick-off time. Everton in the blue with the white shorts and Leicester in their black away kit. Just going to pause that and go on to full match. 13 seconds. Kimpembe on the ball. Puts the ball forward, finds Ricardo for them. So yeah, I don't know what to say really. As I say, we've been playing all right lately. Leicester have... they've not had a fantastic season, but this guy Gray's running through. What's going on? Mahrez... Good God, Kimpembe clears that. Only as far as Ricardo. Davis. Almada now. Come on, Almada. Hlozek. Almendra. Out wide to Holgate, who's of course leaving us at the end of the season. Berg. Almendra. Finds Almada. It's a bit wide. Then he gets a cross in. But it is cleared by... and it's now Loftus-Cheek. I'm not entirely happy with how they are running at us. We're in the control here. I'm going to go on the press. I might even be tempted to put Berg on defence. He's on support at the moment. I'm just panicky. That's all it is. Chilwell. Oh, cross in from Leicester. Dean clears it. Davis now. Something else I want to check and make sure that we are... No, we are not. Let's defend wider because they were looking for the cross there. Davis coming forward. Voids the tackle. He's in the box. Finds Almada with a little short pass. Crosses. But it is cleared. Oh. Berg. Holgate. Almada for another wide ball. Crosses low and it's just a little trickle to Schmeichel there. Schmeichel Jr. of course. Leicester now on the counter-attack. I mean, we've been doing alright, but do I go to key highlights? I kind of want to watch the whole match. That's how important it is. Which would make this a ridiculously long episode, and I don't think I want to do that to you. So we will go key highlights in a minute. Well done, Holgate. That's solid. Alright, I'm going on to key highlights. Oh, we've already got a highlight. It's Chilwell with the throw-in. Berg picks it up. Richarlison with a ball forward. Cut out. Oh my. Gowrie's through past his man, but Unai Simon stays strong. I haven't done any shouts yet. Let's get creative. See if that makes a difference. Because they've had 2 shots and 2 on target and we ain't had nothing. Not really. I mean, we got up front. Let's go short pass and play then. Oh, goodness gracious. Free kick for Leicester. It's still on the ball. Oh my goodness, they're 1-0 up. The man with the big afro, Hamza Chowdhury. Let's go back to control. Not happy about that. Not happy about that at all. Show some passion. Dean finds Kimpembe, but he just puts it over. If there was a day Kimpembe was then. Alright, well, hopefully we'll pick things up a bit, but we've had it. Oh, there we go. 3 shots with 1 on target. I'm going to demand more. Because this really is the game, boys. This really is the game. 1-0 down ain't great, but Dean with the corner. Clear. Davis. Berg. Oh, he's equalised. Sander Berg. 2nd goal of the season. That's only his 2nd goal of the season. Yes. Do 2 cartwheels, mate. That's brilliant. Whew. Everton 1. Leicester 1. Again, at this point, we're in with a shout still, but we'll see. Davis to Berg. And look at that. Controls it and hammers it home. Thank you, Sander Berg. Well, Dean's not having a good day, is he? That's not great. Who else? Hlozek's not having a good day either. Well, it's half time. 7 shots, 3 on target for us. 6 and 5 for them. It is 1-1. And, yeah, you ain't been great, boys. We're better than this. We just beat Chelsea for crying out loud. Go on then. Let's, the pundits one seems to work with you lot. Let's see. You seem motivated, Hlozek. But I am not happy with your performance. Who else? You were just... Oh, Dean. I am not happy with your performance. Time for you to pick it up. And Adara Bayoyo, I'm not actually happy with your performance either. You need to do better. Everybody else, you're doing all right, but we need goals. That's what we need. All right, starting the 2nd half. And Dean with a free kick. Adara Bayoyo scores. That's the 2 people I said needed to pick their game up, and they have. Lucas Dean with the assist from the free kick, and Tosin Adara Bayoyo with the header. To make it Everton 2, Leicester 1 on 47 minutes. That's excellent work. Whew, let me just check. Was he onside? Yeah, they've allowed it. He's onside. That's good enough. We're up in 3rd. That's brilliant. You know what? In a minute, I'm going to go check, see how everybody else is doing. Dean with another corner. Almada picks up the cleared ball. Puts another cross in for Richarlison. I'm just going to pause things and just go for updates. Where are we? So we're 2-1 up. Arsenal are 2-0 down. Arsenal are 2-0 down. We're all right. Looks like there's a season 4 coming. My goodness. Where are Chelsea? How are they doing? Chelsea were also away, I think. Cardiff. Liverpool, Manchester United. Oh, Chelsea Stoke is still 0-0. No, I don't want to unfollow that. That's important. But yeah, unless Arsenal turn it around, which they could, we are going to the Champions League, I guess. Well, it depends on what Chelsea do. We might be just going to the Euro Cup. But European qualification is European qualification. And that is what we are here to secure. Back to the match. God blimey. Schmeichel rolls it out for Jones. You know what? They always say you shouldn't do it if you've only got one striker. But you know what? I'm going to try it one striker anyway. Jones on the ball for Leicester. And that's a point. I just realised. Oh, Richarlison, that was almost a tackle. We're not defending wide enough. Hang on a minute, what's going up here? Pitch. I wanted to go. Never mind. Oh my goodness. That was nearly 2-2. What I wanted to do was this. And go defend a wee bit wider. And I'm going to get you to show some passion. There we go. Klozek has not picked his game up. I am therefore going to sub him. Dean is doing a ton better. He's doing average now. But he's doing a ton better than what he was. So, Mr. Lozek, we're going to bring on Anthony. He doesn't score many goals, does Anthony? Certainly not from that position. How tall is he? 5'8". How tall is Richarlison? 5'11". That'll do. Richarlison is going up front. And you never know, he might give us a goal. They're furious and anxious and very frustrated, and that's fine by me. Come on, Everton. Richarlison not having a bad game. Whether or not he'll transfer that into this position. Let's get creative, boys. Let's make it. Let's give us a cushion. Let's get an extra goal. It's 83 minutes coming up. Looks like they are playing more attacking, but that's fine. It's coming up to 89 minutes. We've not had a 91, 92. We've not had any more highlights. Is it all over? It's all over. Everton 2, Leicester 1. 14 shots, 7 on target to their 10 and 6. Player of the match, Sanderberg. Yes, sirree. He is a fine player. And, of course, he has joined Sheffield United in real life, which is a fine signing for them. Certainly if this game's anything to go by. So expect big things, Sheffield United fans, because I think Sanderberg is going to do well for you. He is wanted by PSG, but if we've got Champions League football, he might actually stay. I mean, he's still got a bit of contract left, so it's not like we're going to lose him that easily, and he is our star player, unquestionably. But yeah, he might stay. As might any of our top players who are, have drawn interest from bigger teams. Obviously, we lost Moise Kean this season to Manchester United. But anyway, to the dressing room. That was a very good performance. Passionately. We made it into the UEFA Champions League. Okay, we're going to do the end of season awards and just have a look at things. We've got the overall best 11. We've got 3 players inducted into it. Moise Kean, who unfortunately is no longer with us, has been inducted in. Accumulating 98 appearances and scoring 30 goals, which isn't bad, with an average rating of 7.04. Almendra made it in, as did Mason Holgate, of course, is leaving us at the end of the season. So it's not bad. We'll have a quick look. What we should do is go back and look at our first best 11, which was Pickford in goal, a back 4 of Dean, Tapsoba, Keane and Sidibe. Central midfield, Partey and Gomez. Bernard left wing, Sigurdsson attacking central midfield, and Walcott outright with Moise Kean up front. Tom Davies, he made 18 appearances in that season. Yerry Mina didn't make it in. Coleman, I mean, they made it obviously on the subs bench. Richardson didn't make it into the team either. Walcott kept him out. So, I mean, good job. I'm not sure how that's realistic unless they wanted to put Richardson up front. I don't know. Anyway, Iwobi didn't make it in. Leighton Baines didn't. Again, he didn't play a massive number of games. I'm just surprised that Richardson doesn't get in over Theo Walcott. That makes a lot of sense to me, but never mind. If we go to 2021 Season 2, Simon in goal. Unai Simon, of course, who was Pickford's replacement and is still presently our number one goalkeeper. Back four of Dean, of course, Tapsoba Kimpembe. That was his first season with us. I think he was on loan then. And John Joe Kenny, who, of course, broke through at that point. Sanderberg, of course, in defensive midfield. That was his first season with us. He was brilliant. Gomez and Partey in central midfield. Sigurdsson left wing. Richardson right wing, where he belongs. And up front it was Anthony. Again, Mason Holgate didn't make it into that team. Neither did Moise Keane, funnily enough, which, again, is kind of surprising. But there we go. Iwobi didn't and Almendra didn't. I mean, Almendra was new at that point. I think he literally only played about 15 games. And Sandro, well, as I always say, I should have played him more because he was a decent goal scorer. So if we then look at the last season, Unai Simon, of course, Dean, Adara Bayoyo, Kimpembe and Kenny, Berg in defensive midfield, Tom Davis and Almendra at central midfield. Tom Davis, of course, breakthrough prospect. He's now considered a squad player, but again, pretty solid for us. Decent box-to-box midfielder, playing close to his potential ability, but it's an area we might want to strengthen. I may be looking for something a bit better in there. Almada left wing and Anthony right wing with Hlozek up front, which you might expect. Anthony, of course, keeping out Richardson, who did pick his game up towards the end of the season, but I think with him it was emotional issues where I kept denying his transfers. So, like I say, I don't expect to keep him in the close season, even though we're in the Champions League, of course. I think he's going to want to go. And to be honest with you, I do feel like we can do better. As you see, he only had one appearance in the Carabao Cup and wasn't great. Overall, he didn't even make the 7.0 for this season. So, it's one of those things. Great player, don't get me wrong, but I also don't like the fact that he's injury prone. So, should any of these teams come in with a 50 million, whether that's Juventus, Real Madrid or Borussia Dortmund, he can go. I think we can probably improve on that position. Like I say, don't get me wrong, he's a great player, and I'm very happy with what he's done. I say great player. He's just a regular starter, he's not a star, if you know what I mean. I always kind of hoped he would be better, but he didn't quite make it, so we'll see. He's pretty much playing at his full potential now. Oh, he said still could improve. Like I say, it's one of those. On a good day, he's absolutely superb, but he's just, like I say, I think they refer to it as fairly consistent. Yeah, he has had some good performances recently, but yeah, fairly consistent. I would argue that he's not fairly consistent. Somewhat consistent, maybe, but yeah, it's just injury thing that, of course, will keep him out. But like I say, I think in terms of the team of the year, well, Almada kept him out. Sorry, Anthony kept him out. Anthony, of course, again, not quite performing to his full potential, but again, he's only 22 and he's still under development, so we'll see. I mean, it's only worth 22 million. We spent 19 and three quarter. I think the previous season was a better season for him. And I can't remember where he played. I think he might have played more out on the left wing than out on the right, but never mind. That's fine. So yes, that'll take us into the overall. Unai Simon, back four of Dean, Tapsoba, Kimpembe, Kenny, Sanderberg in defensive midfield, Gomez and Partey in central midfield. Again, we're not, in terms of the overall, we've not brought anybody in central midfield, other than Thomas Partey, obviously, that can break those two guys. And in this scenario, Thomas Partey, he's had a bit of a poor season this year. He hasn't played that much. As you know, there is no Partey like a Thomas Partey. Gomez didn't get many games this season, but when he did towards the end of the season, he was doing quite well. But again, I think these are areas we can strengthen. Bernard, of course, overall, he's listed. They want 16 and a quarter million for him, yeah, which It had crossed my mind to bring him back, but I also didn't feel... Well, I mean, actually, he was fairly good, wasn't he, in his second season? 30 games, 9 goals, 10 assists, 4 player of the matches, average rating of 7.37. But at 29, he doesn't fit our recruitment. And, of course, Moise Keane up front, which... Yeah, I mean, it's early days. Slozek hasn't had a full season at Everton. You watch him get inducted next season because he's going to be the man. But, yeah, Moise Keane now, a Manchester United player. And he looks like he's done all right for them since his move. 15 starts, 8 goals, 1 assist, average rating 7.4. I feel like he'd done slightly better for us before he went, but again, part of that's familiarity, I guess. So obviously sad to see him go, but I'm not going to worry about breaking the bank to try and get him back. But I'm going to keep an eye on him, see how he progresses, I think, because I think he's going to do probably big things in this upcoming season. So yeah, we'll have a look at the end of season awards. You've probably noticed I'm wearing slightly different attire to what I was earlier. Part of that is because I'm recording this on a different day because I forgot to do it. Anyway, end of season awards. Fans Player of the Year, Sanderberg. That's no surprise, really. Augustin Almendra. I mean, he got 75% of the votes. That's pretty much. That is the fans speaking. I bet you Hložek gets in next season if he keeps up his development. Second is Almendra. Third is Kimpembe. Big fan of Kimpembe myself, in case I haven't mentioned it. Goal of the season is Augustin Almendra against West Ham. So we'll have a quick look at that. This is pre-Hložek by the looks of things. Just because he was pretty much in the side every time. But it's a free kick. Always seems to be a free kick, these goals of the season. Oh no, Richarlison on a run. He's got some space. Oh yeah, cuts it back. And Almendra from places it. I mean, that's the thing, he didn't hammer that hard, but it went where he wanted it to. Or he placed it perfectly. Anyway, the point being, fantastic goal, and that's your goal of the season, so nice one. We know about the team of the season, we've already looked at that. Signing of the season is Presnel Kimpembe. Yes, he is, because this man is the heart and soul of our defence, and the rest of his career is with Everton, as far as I'm concerned. And he's been solid, he's been reliable. You know, decent average rating over 39 games. Yeah, he doesn't score a lot of goals, but he's a defender. And in fairness, I play him as a stopper too, so he tends to have some maybe slightly extra work to do, but just solid. Again, he's one of those players that if you want a decent defender, that's who you signed, you know what I mean? I'll not understand why PSG had him up for sale. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, given how good he is. And then young player of the season was Sanderberg at 24. I mean, again, Sanderberg, stunning season, 39 appearances, 2 goals, 6 assists, 4 player in the matches, 7.35 average rating. I did play him as an anchorman for a bit. I played around with things and it didn't work out. He's definitely a deep-lying playmaker at heart and decent for it. He cost us 22.5 million, but of course he's now worth 41. But yeah, we've got to fight off the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Don't know if I fancy our chances on that one. Nevertheless, season review. We're expected to qualify to the Euro Cup 2, but exceeded pre-season hopes by securing Champions League qualification. And we were the surprise package, constantly defying expectations. And yes, impressive spell of form between September and December, which is, as I say, about the time that Hložek came in. That's what brought us up. Yeah, moment to forget the 7-1 against Manchester United because we played them twice in 3 days in the Premiership. A match of the season is the 2-1 away over over Tottenham, which kind of surprised about that. I feel like maybe the 2-0 over Man City might have been better, or even the beating we gave Arsenal. But we finished 3rd in the Premier League, lost in the 4th round of the Emirates FA Cup, and lost in the 3rd round of the Grabo Cup to West Brom. So, in terms of the dynamics, I'll have a quick look at that. Plenty of support for me. Dressing room atmosphere is good. Injury report, Fabian Delph, because he was basically out injured for the whole time. I mean, he's about coming back now, but bless him, he's going to be out of contract. So, He is going. He is not obviously part of this team. Feeney's up there. Feeney's another one. I'm not sure. I mean, he's got a certain amount of potential, and he's done some. He's scored quite a few goals non-competitively, and obviously he's still quite young yet. So I'm not gonna decide just yet. But that's a little bit. Who else? Richardson's there. He had 4 injuries, but only spent, well, the worst was 11 days out. So, but he missed 8% of the season, which is actually not bad. Yeah, Jonathan Panzo, he's going to be back with us because he's on loan at Millwall at the moment, and he's deteriorating as a result, I would suggest. But like I say, I've always found him to be a solid player. Every time I've signed him, I'm going to keep him at Everton this season and have him in and around the first team squad, certainly as backup, I would suggest. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, Berg wins Young Player. Everton Sander Berg has won the English Players Young Player of the Year award. He's put in a series of high-class performances this year. Yeah. Like I say, he's brilliant. I shall congratulate you on your award. Well done. It has been a good year. We're in the Champions League, mate. It doesn't get any better than that. Let's have a quick look at the club vision and expectations. I wonder if we can see the old club vision. So, play entertaining football, they're pleased with that. They're delighted with signing players under 23. I've managed that pretty much consistently, with the exception of 1 or 2. Kimpembe was a little bit older than that. I think Partey was too. But anyway, develop players using the youth club system. Satisfied. John Joe Kenny, Tom Davis, to name the only 2. Do not sign players over the age of 30. Reserving judgment. Well, I haven't done it yet, so that's good. Work within the wage budget, on course. Sign players to sell for a profit, satisfied, because we did get a decent chunk of change. For Moyes Keane, minimum 4-year contracts, first team player, not judging. I guess it's favoured. And that's end of next season, so I guess it's showing us. I wonder if it can do it that way. I don't know. Yeah, so I guess this is for next season anyway. They want us in the top half of the Premier League, which is fair enough. We finished 3rd, and they like us to reach the group stage of the Champions League, which seems realistic, I would suggest, and become recognised as the best of the rest. Well, that's the season after again. Don't know where we'll be. Don't know if we're going to go beyond the 4th season. Who knows? But we go back to that meeting, it's not. I should have looked at it, I guess, before we rolled over to the new season. Work within wage budget, sign players to sell for a profit, 4-year contracts. Entertaining football, sign players under 23, develop players, do not sign players over the age of 30. All these things are good. Top half of the Premiership, group stage, yeah. It's the same. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for the end of season awards. So, we come back for a final review. Everton 2, Leicester 1. We finished 3rd. I mean, we're some way off Liverpool and Manchester United, don't get me wrong, both in terms of points and quality, but still, we finished in 3rd. We finished above Man City. So, if we take a quick look down, Cardiff and Villa drew. That's kind of a dull game for the poor teams that rooted to bottom. Arsenal got thrashed by Fulham 5-0. I got upset by my 4-0 over Stoke, but that's got to be worse, especially as they're Arsenal. I don't know if they're managerless at the moment and looking for a new manager. No, Emery's still there. Don't fancy his chances of being there much longer. But nevertheless, yeah, Fulham 5, Arsenal 0, so that was unfortunate for them. Liverpool and City drew. I didn't check City's last game, but it was against Liverpool. They drew, so we finished above them, which is that's no mean feat. Chelsea beat Stoke 1-0, and that got them Euro Cup 2 qualification. So it's Arsenal really that have lost out with their hammering at Fulham. It's dropped them into 6th, and there's no Europe for you. So Everton in the Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. There will be a season 4 of Forever Everton.